5 years of working on these streets, I watched 53 women disappear because they had no home, because they're sleeping in doorways, because these women are not treated like people. We don't even remember these women, and we could have had housing, we could have had people to save these women.
And I certainly hope that all the women who are having a hard time with drugs and alcohol and violence will see this building as a ray of hope right in the middle of this neighborhood. We see all these empty buildings, and there seems to be no place for women except one little women's center crammed full of women. And we hope to goodness that this will be a home for the women's center and a home for all the women in this community.
My name is Deanna Point. I'm a divorced mother of 3 and been on my own for almost 5 years.
And I'm originally from Manitoba, so I have no family here. I fled an abusive situation back there, and I ended up in Vancouver 3 years ago with nothing.
Where I went in and out of different hotel rooms, and it was lonely, depressing, and I never ate, and all I did was alcohol.
I think we should be singing something.
Yeah, dancing. Musical.
Hold the fort where we are coming, sisters, always strong.
It's felt like something golden, a vision being presented to me that just felt like I could get in and build this, create this.
You know what? I wasn't even thinking right. I just packed just a few things, few of my favorite things, took my purse, jumped on the Greyhound bus, took off out of Winnipeg. I left my job, my family, my friends, everything, because of that one guy.
I was homeless and ended up in a shelter in Surrey.
With your kids?
No.
I was desperate, so I ended up down here in a frickin' hotel room, and I never realized how terrible it would be. I don't know how I did it.
We needed an architect who could design a building with a women's drop-in center at ground level, 12 units of emergency shelter on the second floor, and 36 units of permanent housing, all for a budget of about $5 million. We went with Linda because she had a lot of experience with social housing, which we needed at that point.
What's that, Alana? That's the women's center with a big window. Yeah.
Coming in from the center, this will be the front door area here. Or through the lobby, you'll be coming in through the lobby in the elevator in this area.
I was volunteering at the center, and I got wind of this place being built, like before it was even built. They said it's going to be an apartment complex for women who live downtown here and who are struggling and are on their own and, don't have families and stuff.
And as you notice, the father's features were not in that because he was out partying at some other residence with a gallon of wine.
And he's the one that beat you?
Yeah, my husband was quite famous of that. Put me in the hospital quite often.
Okay. Tell us about the early days, the early vision of Bridge.
The early vision of Bridge.
We wanted a place where workshops could be held, and that would be a vital place for growth, and not just a place to live. I mean, it is important to have a place to live, but for the population that we were trying to facilitate, we wanted the ancillary services.
If the whole project had just been residential, it probably would have gotten built several years before it did. But because we had these 3 components, we had the Women's Center, which we fundraised the money through a variety of sources to build that. It was about $1 million in itself. The second floor Well, it's an emergency shelter. It's funded through the emergency shelter program. It's 30-day maximum stay. What makes Bridge unique, though, in its shelter from other women's shelters is that there's only one woman to a suite.
And then you had to deal with the NIMBY situation there as
yeah,
well. So.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad, but there was some of that opposition by some residents and business persons from Gastown to having any more social housing, period. But they were particularly opposed because we took a parking lot.
One on each floor.
It's going to be noisy here.
It's a noisy corner, yeah. And this is rush hour too. And it's going to be hot. Although I think the suites down that way are going to be a bit hotter. That's one thing that we were worried about. Just that kind of that real hot sun in the summer. But
Air conditioner,
One of the things that I held out for was the no questions asked, no referral. Safe place, emergency, you get in. And there was to be a place for women that were even out of it. Because I don't like to see, I mean, those are the women that need our care and protection the most. Is if they're drunk or stoned and they can't look after themselves.
What were your ambitions for yourself when you were growing up? What did you think you'd do?
Law.
You thought you'd do law?
Yeah, like a lawyer, something like that. Instead, I ran into some people that did what we do and been off and on into it for a lot of years.
You know, I had a good life for a while. I traveled a lot. Went to Europe when I was young, went to Germany, Switzerland, traveled all over Canada, you know. Had a good time because I worked hard. But then I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and this guy, he started stalking me in Manitoba. For some reason, he just fixated on me, and then he found out where I worked and where I lived. And one day, 3 o'clock in the morning, he booted my door in, dragged me out of bed by my hair. I used to have long hair down to my waist. Dragged me out of there, and he wanted all my money and jewelry and everything. He almost killed me that night, choked me.
And I got into crime and stuff to support my habit, and went to jail a couple of times. And
So you got to know the law, but from the wrong side.
yeah, definitely, yeah. From behind the bars, yeah.
Irene, she goes, you've been selected to have a room. She goes, we're gonna put all the numbers in a hat, and you gotta pick out where, you know, your own room, like your apartment. So I said, you know what, I think I would like to live on the 5th floor because, you know, it's high up and away from everything. And you know, when I stuck my hand in that hat and I pulled out 509, it was like I was meant to be here, you know?
I got that as a bargain for $10 in a bar downtown here for playing music, because I love my Western music. And the couch here, it only cost me to furnish the place here $70. It's a hide-a-bed.
A lot of the women just came with two bags, and that's all they had of belongings, and they were put, you know, they were moving into a suite, coming from a one-room kind of closet with 2 bags of their belongings. And we're talking just, you know, plastic bags here, and moving into a space like this, they have nothing.
You're pretty crowded around here.
Yeah, and you know what? I came here with nothing. Like, I mean, a bag of clothes and a tote bag in my purse. And look at all this stuff I have, and dishes galore, and clothes and stuff. And these are all donated. I don't think I've bought anything except for my TV.
I must have gave away 5 garbage bags of clothes, so I was just kind of organizing what I like getting rid of the working clothes, the street clothes and stuff like that.
Oh, wow. Look at your collection.
Yeah, I have 30 bunnies.
This is most wonderful. I love the big freezer. I can really stock up on payday. And it comes really in handy. It's even taller than I am.
The only thing is the smoke detector goes off when you cook, so you got to make sure you turn the fan on, but it's very noisy.
Have our own shower. And great big mirror. That's what I love about it too. Everything.
And here's your cat box.
Yeah, a little kitty box. She does her little duties.
I had to sacrifice a table and chairs and what else to get a brand new double bed from the welfare, because they said, well, you can't have everything. He goes, you pick your bed. He goes, you can have a single bed and have a table and chairs. I said, hello. I said, do I look like, I'm 12 years old? I said, I'm not going to sleep on a single bed in my one bedroom, I was all insulted. I said, I'll take the bed, thank you very much.
None of the rooms have balconies, so we have a roof here that have 2 common rooms with a sliding door here that they can open up to a larger, and the women have a TV, fireplace. They have a small kitchenette adjacent to it where they can cook, well, it always smells good when I go up there.
Where are we now?
We're on the 7th floor. This is our common area. If you want to. Hi, Carmen. Hi. My video crew's here. And this is our beautiful lounge. We even have a stereo system. This is where, we have our luncheons. Got a computer, photocopier. And this is our garden area. We're growing corn, rose bushes, lettuce, tomatoes. Look at our tomatoes.
This is a camera at the entrance. You can see who's down there coming to see you.
Yes. Yeah, it's the most wonderful thing that they've got here. And there's quite a few characters that try to come in or do a mistake of ringing your bell and asking for that person. I'm sorry, I says, I can't let you in because I don't know you.
When we opened, it was just like wasp to honey or something. The men literally lined up beside the women, the door, lineups of men to hit on the women.
Like, I'm 50 years old, I should be able to do as I please, right? I'm not going to have a wild party or anything. And it's just that the girls, they abuse that, They, those other girls, 10, 15 guys a night, in and out, up and down, all over the place, down the stairs. They weren't looking after their visitors.
Men were coming into the building and being violent, and Atira said, we have to hire some security.
It's a balancing act between trying to create a place that's safe and secure and look after everyone's well-being, and create a place that feels like home, where you don't feel like you're being constantly monitored or having people tell you what to do all the time.
I don't visit my girls because he'd told me that I had to sleep with him to see my kids. So.
Do the authorities know that?
Huh?
Do the authorities know that?
There's no authorities. He's got custody of the kids.
I have a lot of street daughters come in from Prince George. The one's coming around Christmas time. And she's going to stay overnight with me because she don't like going to her brother's. He's into the drugs. She don't like going to visit him. So she always calls me Mom. She says, "Can I come and stay with you?" And it's doors open, baby. Doors open.
And what do you like best about the way the staff runs things?
I don't know. I guess the equal respect that they have for us regarding, regardless of who we are, and regardless of who we are and the kind of life we live and stuff.
I feel more that I'm doing something for the kids of the street, but my own children, they have not phoned me for a long, long time. So I'm very depressed. When it was Mother's Day and my birthday, even at Christmas, I was very depressed. But a few of us girls are in that same situation, so we more or less had our own little get-together up here. And try to cheer each other up. So it's wonderful here.
I was working the streets, but I've decreased that a lot since since the pig farm got raided, and there's still 10 women missing since the pig farm got raided. So obviously it's a serial thing, but it's not a single person. It's people who have problems of their own who take their problems out on women, obviously on women.
During these years, we lost board members, and I'm talking about the street people, because Rose is dead, and Gypsy is dead, and Enola is dead, and all of these women that were excited and actually the inspiration for me, because it wasn't an abstract thing. Gee, I understand in principle that it's hard for women. No, it was like, I see these women, I over the years get to know these women, and so it's like, if only we had a place for them to go where they could get some help and connection with other people.
There's a lot of seniors going to be on the streets in the next few years because of the provincial cuts and because of the increasing healthcare costs.
And then, of course, now that the shelter rate has gone down, there are a lot of people that are going to be forced to move. There are a lot of people that are going to lose their deposits. They're going to end up.
And what are we going to do as a society when we're carrying a mortgage and a woman says she can't pay her rent?
I would like to know that Bridge is going to continue, with or without me, that we do get some stronger board members, or not stronger, but strong board members. We build a stronger board, and that Bridge develops a kind of a plan, a vision for where it wants to go from here as an organization.
I think Bridge Housing could have been in a better environment. I think Bridge Housing should do, say, stage 2 and maybe, put it a little, away from the city core, rather than have it right in the middle and put a bunch of messed up women in a messed up neighborhood, and what is the result? A fucking mess, right? So
the shelter that's here should be dealing with the drug addicts, and Bridge should be dealing with the ones that are on healing basis, that are trying to heal themselves or coming off of alcohol and trying to change your life, just trying to survive.
The whole co-op movement that kind of has stalled needs to be reinvigorated, and we really need to build another phase of social housing, because this city has just gone to the developers. Vancouver has just become a city for the rich.
If you were going to do your life again, what would you do?
I'd stay in school and say no to drugs.
And where did you learn that lesson?
Here, there, and everywhere. They're hard lessons, like, on the streets last year I had 5 bad dates, and, You know, the last one I got beaten with a chain with a padlock, and it wasn't all that glorious. You know, I couldn't stand on my feet for 3 weeks, and, you know, still kind of get blurry, and I get bad headaches from the lights.
I'd love to get a little home possibility and maybe share with somebody else, like maybe another girlfriend. Or I might maybe find the right gentleman friend. But it's going to take a long time before somebody can come back and that I can trust anymore, because I've been abused most of my life.
How about Amazing Grace? Everybody knows that.
That's my dad's favorite song.
Amazing Grace, how sweet